Hey guys, welcome back to WrestleNews 365. Hope everyone is doing very, very well. Having a good Friday evening. Friday Night SmackDown just went off of the air. Lots to break down in Friday Night SmackDown this week. I thought another good show. I didn't think it was as good heading to as it was last week, but we're heading into Clash of Champions at the end of this month. So we're not going to break down everything here. Specifically, what we're going to talk about is the FireFly Funhouse and the new addition to the FireFly Funhouse. Yes, there is a new addition to the FireFly Funhouse. Now, if you are a subscriber to this channel, and you should be, and you can, if you're not, you could do that, click on the bottom right hand corner, or if you wait at the end of this video, there'll be a subscribe button, or just go to the channel, subscribe there, because you will be able to have some exclusive scoops and predictions like we had earlier on this evening, because if you watched the SmackDown preview video, you will see in that video that I suggested that the new puppet or the new character in the FireFly Funhouse would be Wobbly Walrus, and that Wobbly Walrus would indeed be a caricature of Paul Heyman. And it is currently very late over here in the UK, way too late to be tooting a literal horn, but if I can toot my metaphorical horn, I will toot it to the moon. Even so, it's probably still too late to be tooting the horn. But I'm getting off tangent here about tooting horns, damn it. But the point being is that I called it. I called it, ladies and gentlemen. I was right. I don't want to be that braggy guy, but yes, I was absolutely right. Paul Heyman is caricature known as Wobbly Walrus, which is very difficult to say, but Wobbly Walrus is a new character inside the FireFly Funhouse. Yes. And I can tell you now, the puppet is absolutely terrifying. Honestly, at this time of recording, I haven't done the thumbnail yet. I think I will do a cutout of Wobbly Walrus because you've got to see him. You've got to see him. If you haven't seen him, Google him or look at the highlights on YouTube or something. It's terrifying. That puppet will give you nightmares. I can only imagine if I was a kid and I'd first got into WWE now, and I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, that puppet would terrify me. It is one of the scariest things that I have seen. I'm not exaggerating. It is terrifying. So what happened in this segment? Now, as I mentioned, coming into the show, it had been announced that there was going to be a new addition to the FireFly Funhouse. There was going to be a new character, a new person in the Funhouse. There was a lot of speculation. Could it be Alexa Bliss? Could Alexa Bliss be Sister Abigail? I mentioned Wobbly Walrus. Again, I'm so going to screw up that name about 1,000,000 times. Wobbly Walrus. Wobbly Walrus. I never thought that at 4 a.m. in the morning I would be sitting there saying Wobbly Walrus about 1,000,000 times. But this is the thing that SmackDown does to you. It can drive a sane man insane. But Wobbly Walrus is the new character. And the reason I predicted that he would be the new character is there was a trademark filed by WWE last week with the United States Trademark and Patent Office about Wobbly Walrus. And immediately, if you've been watching WWE for at least the last, however long Paul Heyman's been back with WWE, is they have referred to him as a walrus on several occasions. I believe it was The Miz was the first to do so back in 2013. So as soon as I heard that Wobbly Walrus was a trademark, I thought they are going to do something with Paul Heyman. I was concerned they were actually going to make him dress up in like a walrus costume because Vince McMahon. But instead, he is a character in the FireFly Funhouse, which is what I predicted after sort of a bit more rational thinking. So what happened in this segment? Well, we go to Bray Wyatt in the FireFly Funhouse. First, before he gets started, he says he has something to get off his chest. He says, thanks to Roman Reigns, something special is missing from the Funhouse, that of course being the WWE Universal Championship. And then he goes to joke about handling losses. Now, this was a big bugbear of mine in the 2000s with John Cena. There was a period of time in John Cena's career, I want to say it's like 2009, during his feud with Randy Orton, whereby John Cena at this point, now in 2020, is a 16-time world champion. I think he got like 6 or 7 of those world championship reigns in at least 2009, because it felt like every other month he won and then lost the title to Randy Orton. They volleyballed this title back and forth at that period of time. It was ridiculous. But every time he lost, So he would lose on the pay-per-view on the Sunday. He would come out on Raw on the Monday, smiling, no care in the world, didn't bother him. Oh, well, I'll get him next time. Dude, you just lost the biggest prize in WWE. If you are in the WWE, if you're in professional wrestling, you want to be WWE champion. That's the deal, right? That's the ultimate. And you couldn't tell on John Cena's face back in those days, because he'd come out, maybe because he knew he was going to get it the next month again. I don't know, but it used to really bug me. So as soon as Bray Wyatt did this in this segment of sort of, oh, Roman, you took it away from me. How frustrating. I get that it's his character, and some people will say, well, that's just the Bray Wyatt character. It's like, yeah, but it's got to mean something. Make it mean something. Support for WrestleNews 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed. You gotta keep yourself proper. And a lot of the time, I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nicked, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. Now that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot. And I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favourite features about the lawnmower is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more did I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, if you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testies their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. So Bray Wyatt, after joking about handling these losses, he goes over to Huskus the Pig and says in the box is the new member of the FireFly Funhouse that had been teased. He says that this new member has overcome so much in his life to make it this far, and Wyatt calls on all of his Fireflies and all of the puppets in the house to welcome Persevering Parrot, which leads to everyone clapping. Bray Wyatt tries to get Persevering Parrot to fly out of the box or say something inspirational, but we see nothing. Nothing happens. There's no Persevering Parrot anywhere. Wyatt goes to let the parrot out of the box, but something surprises him. We then get a brief technical difficulties graphic, which we then come back from. And Bray Wyatt says, we have a problem. He says, I probably should have cut some holes in the box because it appears that Persevering Parrot is dead. Yes, it is the classic Bray Wyatt, another one bites the dust scenario in that Firefly Funhouse. All of those puppets they just die. It's like a Ricochet push or a Mustafa Ali push in there. It's terrible. They're dying every 5 seconds. But it would appear that Persevering Parrot does not have the miraculous ability or magic skills of Rambling Rabbit. He isn't coming back anytime soon. Rambling Rabbit's like Kenny from South Park. He dies and then comes back every 5 minutes. Or he's like a cat with more than 9 lives. Rambling Rabbit, he's got extra lives. He is, I don't know, he's like Wolverine. He's got some mutated gene that he can just come back whenever. But this isn't the case with Persevering Parrot. If anything, the real thing that he's persevering a lot here is the death element of his character. So good for him. So Wyatt tosses the box aside. He goes, oh, wow. And people are thinking, oh, is that going to be the end of the segment? Well, it wasn't. Because then the evil Mr. McMahon puppet comes in and starts yelling at Bray Wyatt, not only for losing the Universal Championship, good for him, by the way. At least he's telling Bray Wyatt how it is. Not just that, oh, I lost, well, you never know. I'll go back into my own land, maybe one day. No, even the puppet knows. Treat this seriously. Come on. So the evil Mr. McMahon puppet shouts at Bray Wyatt for losing the title and also losing control, more importantly, of the Firefly Funhouse. Now, he threatens to fire Bray Wyatt if he can't keep the Firefly Funhouse together. Therefore, the evil boss Mr. McMahon puppet introduces the new special advisor for the Firefly Funhouse, you guessed it, being Wobbly Walrus. Yes. And we see the horrifying puppet. Honestly, I think tonight, again, it's nearly 4 a.m. over here. SmackDown goes off the air, obviously, in the UK very late or early, depending on how you look at it. I think I might have a dream tonight that I'm going to wake up from my sleep, or think I've woken up from my sleep, turn over, and then there's Wobbly Walrus at the side of my bed. Honestly, maybe I'm just a wuss, because it is absolutely terrifying. So he introduces himself, Wobbly Walrus. Wyatt isn't thrilled. He says, yowie wowie. Mr. McMahon puppet says, this is such good, YouTube doesn't like me swearing, pal. The Walrus, which some people are going, it could be inspired by Paul Heyman. Could. Okay, yeah. If it could be inspired by Paul Heyman, I could be John Cena. I'm not John Cena, and it is Paul Heyman, so I'm not really sure how that metaphor or simile works. Thinking about it out loud, but it doesn't matter. It's Paul Heyman. So that's the segment. They say to be continued, and this is what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be Paul Heyman. One, because who else is going to be Wobbly Walrus? Let's be honest. So it's going to be a Paul Heyman caricature. They've done caricatures of Vince McMahon in there, so Paul Heyman's the natural next evolution of that. And also, we know that The Fiend and Roman Reigns are on a showdown at some point. The reports were that Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns are going to be feuding. Bray Wyatt is going to be chasing Roman Reigns for the Universal title. This match between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso is kind of a stopgap for that because, first of all, The Fiend and Bray Wyatt's been involved in the Universal title picture post-WrestleMania and prior to that all year. So he kind of needs a break out of it, let's be honest, right? So that's one. Two, does The Fiend or Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns need to happen at Clash of Champions? No, it's not really worth it for the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is not worthy of that match. That's a big match. They're probably two of the biggest stars in SmackDown, certainly, maybe in WWE right now. It's certainly up for debate. So is that match really necessary for Clash of Champions? Absolutely not. So I think they should take their time with this, have the Roman Reigns Jey Uso storyline, which I think is actually very interesting right now. I'm very interested in that. I'm certainly interested when Roman Reigns is going to beat the hell out of Jey Uso and become super mega heel Roman Reigns. So I'm very fascinated to see that. But this Bray Wyatt subplot is going to be ticking over. So I'm very interested in seeing that. They're going to take their time with it. I would suggest at this point, see, usually I would say Survivor Series, we would see Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, but that, of course, is Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, so that's not going to happen. Is it going to happen at Hell in a Cell? Keep The Fiend away from Hell in a Cell matches after what happened last year. I'm still recovering from that. Maybe they stretch out to Royal Rumble. That seems quite far away at this point now, given that we're in September and WWE hates stretching things out. But hey, who knows? But it's absolutely the right call not to do this match at Clash of Champions. It's too soon. It's not worthy. The pay-per-view isn't worthy of that match. It's a big match. It's a big money match. Let's be honest. The Fiend versus Roman Reigns could main event at WrestleMania. So don't have it at Clash of Champions. Certainly don't have it at Clash of Champions. It's not worth it. I'm interested in seeing this Wobbly Walrus character on Firefly Funhouse. I can't lie. I think it's interesting. It's scary. It's scary. And like I said, I called it. I'm just looking at it again now. Oh, it's a cross between Paul Heyman and Danny DeVito's Penguin in the Batman films, the Tim Burton Batman films. And that Danny DeVito Penguin is really scary for me. It's just, I mean, I'll get the picture up, but it's a walrus with Paul Heyman's sort of bald haircut, but it's got hair on the sides. It's got the big walrus teeth. In its suit pocket, it's got a load of fish. It's so scary. And I think people are going, oh, this is like a rib on Heyman. I don't think it's a rib on Heyman. Paul Heyman's been called the walrus for years. It's a caricature. If you think caricatures are ribs, then no, it is a satire. I don't think it's a rib. And Paul Heyman's a heel. You're meant to make fun of heels. I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm sure some people will say it's fat shaming and this and that, but I disagree. I think it's fun. I think, if anything, it's the perfect mix of hilarity and pure terror. And I'm not against it at all. I think it's fun. I thought Bray Wyatt did well in this segment. I think, to be honest, anything that they can add into these Firefly Funhouse segments to make them different is really important at this point, because at certain points, these Firefly Funhouse segments have become slightly formulaic, that they just do the same things over and over again. And that was the problem with the previous Bray Wyatt character, the Eater of Worlds. It became so formulaic of those nonsensical promos that you came out of it going, I have no idea what he said, and I'm really bored. So I think this addition to the Funhouse is interesting. I think it's different. Different is good. Different is fun. And I'm interested to see where they go with it. And it's a nice subplot to what will eventually be a Bray Wyatt Roman Reigns feud in the future. It's just a case of when they decide to pull the trigger on that one. Could be Hell in a Cell. Could be after that. Another Paul Heyman note before we finish up here. Paul Heyman is going to be on Talking Smack tomorrow morning, but also so is AJ Styles. Now, I very much doubt that they're going to be on Talking Smack at the same time, but if they really wanted to push that show and get people watching, put AJ Styles and Paul Heyman on that Talking Smack table with a microphone in either one of those hands, because AJ Styles don't like Paul Heyman. He's been very open. He thinks Paul Heyman is a liar. He thinks he's the reason that Gallows and Anderson are no longer with WWE, which, again, you can check my thoughts on that. I did a video about it on the channel. BS. The reason that Gallows and Anderson aren't with WWE is because Vince McMahon's cool. It's got nothing to do with Paul Heyman. So maybe AJ Styles thinks Paul Heyman could have vouched for him more, but it's BS. It's absolute BS. The idea that is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So it will be interesting. I don't think they will, but it'll be interesting. But of course, as always, this is just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on the Wobbly Walrus character addition to the Firefly Funhouse? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys. Let me know your thoughts on SmackDown too while you're down there, and I'll be sure to respond to you. If you've enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button as well. Really just helps out here on YouTube. Go up the rankings, get into people's recommendation feeds, and battle against that darn old algorithm. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to WrestleNews 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch as we close in on 800 subscribers. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.